Hello lovely human beings, it's Loretta with Sparrowhawker Designs. Welcome back to my channel. So I am coming to you on this beautiful day to show you my second house in my texture book that I am making using Slow Stitch. So let's see, this was the first house and this is the second one. I told you I'm putting a house number on each one of them, but I don't know. But I'm not. They're not necessarily. I'm not necessarily doing them in order because I don't know really, honestly, what order I want to put them in the book. So, anyway, yeah. So I used this little thing up there to kind of, you know, those sort of nautical windows or whatever. That's kind of what I was going for there. And I did this little heart and I put some beads on it, and then this actually this came in one of my swaps. It was part of a doily that had yellow and purple flowers on it, and then I put a little piece of burlap down here. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? And some fuzzy green thread that I got from the needlepoint shop, and these two little pieces of laces for the windows. And I remember I actually changed my mind because the original video I showed you, I had different fabric here for the door and I didn't like it, so I used this little part of the hook and eyelet, those, what do you call them, not snaps but the other thing, the hooks. I used that the other part is like the door handle. And yeah, so that is my second house, and I also have the third house done. so woohoo, bonus, right? You get the third house. Actually, it's two houses in one, but that's okay. I'm just doing it as, I'm counting it as one. Anyway, this is the third one. I also used a little hook here for the door, and then I used a button for this doorknob, and two little pieces of lace there, and this trim, this really old polka dot fabric. I mean, it has to be from the 30s or 40s. I just love it. And I had this little bird was on a piece of fabric, and I cut it out and put it on there, and I did glue him on instead of stitching him on because I really didn't want to interfere with the way he looked, but yet, you know, I had to get it to stick on there somehow. And then that green fuzzy thread, well, this is blue fuzzy thread that I used along the roof there. I thought this was hilarious to put the all rights reserved. And I did round windows. And yeah, so this is supposed to be like a texture thing for a book for one of my granddaughters. So there should be plenty of textures. See, hopefully, that's what I'm hoping anyway. Yeah, so that's there. Three. There we go. I don't know if they'll all fit in frame or not, but yeah. And these are so much fun to make. They really are. So I think I'm going to make 10 if I remember correctly. So then I have the fourth one ready to go. Here's the fourth one. And so I think this is going to be house number 2. I'll put that there. So this came from a piece of fabric. So, oh, here you go. Here's the fuzzy thread in case you all were interested. I have never found this anywhere other than a needlepoint shop. So I've never seen it at, you know, at like Joann, Hobby Lobby, nothing like that. And I've never seen it at a quilt shop either. So I got this from here in St. Louis. It's called the Needlepoint Clubhouse. I think you can order from them online, but I'm not sure. But if not, if you have a needlepoint store near you, or you might be able to just Google Bussy Stuff. It's made in Italy. I think RG is the people who make it. You might find it online somewhere to buy it. So anyway, I have it in all kinds of colors, but it's just, and you will need to use a little bit bigger needle. Like I tend to use a tapestry needle with it because I can't get it to thread otherwise. But it makes great like grass and, you know, this stuff right here. It makes good little grass and leaves and that type of thing. Anyway, okay. So I got off track because I found that laying there. Because my desk, oh my gosh, you guys, my desk is so unbelievably messy. But these, for the windows and the door, came out of a piece of fabric like this. Now, I actually got this at Joann's. I tend not to use Joann fabric whenever I'm making quilts. But for like slow stitching, it's perfectly fine. But you do what you do. You do whatever you want to do. I think this was like a fat quarter even, but when I saw the designs on it, which that is right there, I was like, oh, this would be perfect for like windows and you know, that kind of thing in slow stitching. So yeah, that's so anyway, that's what I'm using for the doors and the windows. This is a stamp. It's a rubber stamp. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. I still have it here. It's just a rubber stamp like you use for scrapbooking and junk journals and that kind of thing. And I just stamped it onto the fabric and then I cut it out. So yeah, I don't know, I just really liked it. But and then I have a tree here. Now for the top part of the tree, I didn't use a pattern or anything. I literally just took my scissors and cut in around in a circle until I had that. So I don't know what kind of stitching I'm gonna do on it yet. I haven't decided. I might put some sequins in the tree. So I would not, if you're making this for a really small baby, I definitely would not use beads and sequins and buttons and stuff like that. But by the time I give this to her, she will probably be closer to 3, so I think she'll be fine. If you are making it for, you can still make one for a younger child. Just don't put anything like that on there. That might come off. Anyway, so that will be house number 4, even though it says number 2. So, all right, I think that is it for these. So that's number 4. This is number 3. So this was just part of a selvage, you know, where they tell you like who made the fabric and you know, all that kind of thing. That's all that was. A lot of times some of the manufacturers will put on their all rights reserved so that I guess you don't try to copy it somehow. Anyway, and then just round windows. This piece of fabric was actually one of my dad's shirts. And then I just put a big piece of lace up here for the sky. So yeah, and then house number 2. And everything in here I think is like basically just cross stitch and blanket stitch. Oh, and satin stitch. And on this one I did lazy daisies here, blanket. This is fly stitch or feather stitch, I'm sorry. So yeah, and then the background is just a burrow stitch and some X's. So yeah, I think that's everything I can think of to tell you about them, and I hope you guys are having a lovely day, and I will be back on fairly soon, but I can't remember why. So you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.